Hello, this is Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So I usually post videos about crocheting, like stitch tutorials and patterns, and occasionally I also knit. If that seems interesting to you, please like and subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. So today is Wednesday, and that means it's the stitch of the week. So for today's stitch, I'm going to be using my G hook, or 4.25 millimeter, and I have some very old fingering weight yarn. I think I was gifted this yarn when I was like 13, so that would have been like well over 30 some years ago. So anyway, this stitch is a lacy stitch. It's very pretty and very easy to do. You can use a variety of yarn types and hook sizes to do this stitch. So to get started with this stitch, you are going to need to chain a multiple of 8 plus 6. So we are going to chain 30. So 8 times 3 is 24, and then you add 6 and it's 30. Alright, so we have our 30 chains. So we're going to get started with row 1 of this stitch pattern. So row 1 is going to be your setup row. So what you're going to do to get started is you are going to single crochet in the second chain from your hook, and you can work on your chain however you would like. So here is my second chain right there, and I'm just going to work a single crochet, and then we're going to chain 3. We have our 3 chains. Now we need to skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to be working a cluster stitch, or it looks like a bubble. You're going to yarn over like you're working a double crochet. You're going to insert your hook into that next chain. So you're skipping 3 and then inserting your hook into the next one, and you're going to pull up a loop. And now you're going to yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to yarn over again and go right back into that same stitch. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to do this one more time. Yarn over, go right back into that chain, and then yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. So now we have 4 loops. So now we're going to work all those loops off. So we're just yarning over and pulling through all of those loops. And so now you've created your little cluster. So now we're going to chain 3 again. And you're going to skip 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet into the next one. And we're going to chain 3 again. And you're going to skip 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and work that cluster stitch again. So I'll go over it one more time. So yarn over, insert your hook into your chain, and pull up your loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert that hook right back into the chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So yarn over, lots of yarn overs. Pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2 again. So now we have 4 loops on our hook. You yarn over and pull through the final 4, and we've worked our cluster. So we're going to chain 3. We're going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet into the next one. And we're just going to keep repeating across our chain. Chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and work our cluster stitch. Okay, so we are going to chain 3 again. We're skipping 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to single crochet into the next one. So now we have 4 chains left. So we're going to chain 3. And in your very last chain, you will work a double crochet. And there's row 1. Row 1 is complete. So let's get ready for row 2. So row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. So what you're going to do is we're going to work a single crochet right in that same stitch. And we're going to chain 3. And we're going to single crochet right on top of our previous single crochet. And we're going to chain 3. So this is a very easy row. Basically, you're going to chain 3 on top of the previous chain 3, and you're going to work a single crochet in either the previous single crochet or the cluster. So now I need to work my single crochet in my cluster, and I'm chaining 3, and I'm going to single crochet on top of that single crochet. So we're just going to do that all the way across for this row, chaining 3, working in that cluster, chaining 3, working in the single crochet, chaining 3, working in that cluster, chaining 3. So now we are at the end of our row. So at the end of your row, you're going to single crochet in that very last single crochet. And then row 2 is complete. So there we go. So now you need to chain 6 and turn your work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we're going to turn our work. So now we're going to get ready for row 3. So for row 3, we are going to single crochet right in that single crochet. So this chain 6 is going to consist of a double crochet and a chain 3. It just won't look like it right now, but it will. You'll understand as we go farther along in this stitch pattern. All right, so we're going to single crochet in that next single crochet. And we are going to chain 3. So this is very similar to the previous row. You're going to chain 3 on top of your previous chain 3. Okay, so we've worked our single crochet. Now we need to chain 3. And we're going to work a cluster stitch in the next one. So we're going to be alternating single crochet cluster for this row. So yarning over, going into that next stitch, the single crochet, and working that cluster. And there's our 4 loops, pulling through all 4 of those loops, and we're going to chain 3. And we will single crochet in the next single crochet here. We're going to chain 3, and we'll work the cluster into the next stitch, that single crochet. And we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops, and we are going to chain 3. And we're going to single crochet in that next single crochet. So all of your chain 3s will be on top of each other. So as you can see, chain 3, chain 3, chain 3. So we are going to chain 3, a lot of chain 3s, and work the cluster into the next stitch. And then yarning over, pulling through all 4 of those loops, and we are going to chain 3. And I'm at the end of my row. So when you get to the end of your row, you're just going to work a single crochet into that last stitch there, and then row 3 is complete. So there we go, there is row 3. I think it's looking real pretty. So now we need to work row 4. So this is actually a 4-row repeat, but we're actually going to be working 5 rows because row 1 is our setup row. So for row 4, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work. And we were going to be single crocheting right in that same stitch. And we're going to chain 3. And we're going to single crochet on top of that next cluster stitch here. And this is going to be an all single crochet row. So the odd rows in this stitch pattern, you're going to be working cluster stitches and single crochet stitches. The even rows, you're just working single crochet, and then of course your chain 3 stitches as well. So we're going to chain 3 and single crochet right on top of that single crochet, and chain 3 and single crochet in that cluster, chain 3, single crochet in that single crochet, chaining 3, and single crochet in the cluster. We are almost to the end of our row here. For row 4, we're going to chain 3. We are going to single crochet in this single crochet, and we're going to do our final chain 3. So now we come to this chain 6. So remember I said it consists of a double crochet and a chain 3. So you're going to have to turn this into a double crochet and a chain 3 space. So what I like to do is I usually just count from the bottom here. So here's 1, 2, 3. So in this stitch here, then I work the chain 3, and that creates the double crochet. So if you look at it, so now we have created the double crochet here, and we've also created that chain 3 space there. Okay, so let's get ready for row 5. And row 5, as I said before, the odd rows, you're going to do your single crochet and your cluster stitches. So row 5, we need to chain 1 and turn our work. So we are going to be single crocheting right in this same stitch here. And we're going to chain 3 and work a cluster stitch in this stitch here. So this is going to be the alternating cluster single crochet row. So there's our cluster stitch, and then we're going to chain 3 and single crochet right on top of that one. Chaining 3 again and working the cluster. So I think this is a very easy stitch pattern. It doesn't take too long to do, and I think it would work really well for a variety of projects. Definitely for the lacier type of projects. So I think it would be beautiful in a shawl or a wrap, or if you wanted, we're going to chain 3 again after the cluster. If you wanted like a lacier, like a very lightweight scarf, or even like a sweater, like a spring sweater, this would be a really pretty design for that too. So we have our chain 3, and we're going to work a single crochet in there, chaining 3, probably tired of hearing me say chaining 3, work the cluster stitch, and we're going to chain 3, and we're almost to the end of this row for row 5. We are going to work a single crochet on top of that one, and then to complete row 5, you're going to chain 3, and you will double crochet into your last stitch there to finish up, and then we'll be ready for the repeat. So there we go, here is row 5. And so what you're going to want to do for this stitch pattern is you are going to repeat rows 2 through 5 for however long you would want your swatch. So I will do one more repeat, and I'll do that off camera and show you, and I will be right back with that. Alright, so we finished up our little swatch here. So I worked one more repeat of rows 2 through 5, so you can really see the pattern starting to emerge there, and I think it's really, really nice. I think it's really pretty, and it's very, very easy, but it looks kind of complicated, which is, I love stitch patterns like that, so someone might think it's very ornate and very time consuming, but you'll know that it's really not. So I hope you enjoyed this Stitch of the Week, and I thank you so much for watching.